Chapter 11. Gandhian Era. Ponder Point. Mahatma Gandhi came back to India from South Africa in 1915 while the World War I was still going on. There he was known as a social reformer. Mahatma Gandhi dominated the Indian political scene from 1918 to 47. This period of the Indian National Congress is also referred to as the Gandhian era. Reading objectives. Rowlatt Act. Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Non-Cooperation Movement. The Civil Disobedience Movement. The Simon Commission and Purna Swaraj. Quit India Movement. Indian National Army. India Got Freedom. By 1919, Gandhiji was the main leader of the national movement in India. His efforts were appreciated by the masses. Under the Gandhiji's able leadership, the people and leaders got involved in peaceful demonstrations, defied the law peacefully, picketed shops selling British goods, boycotted courts and universities and urged closing down of British-owned business. So Gandhiji made the national movement a truly mass movement. The Rowlatt Acts. The government now decided to arm itself with more powers in order to suppress the freedom fighters. In March 1919, it passed the Rowlatt Act. This act authorized the government to detain any person without trial. Unrest gripped the country and a powerful agitation against the act started. Jallianwala Bagh Massacre. Gandhiji asked the people to oppose the laws. Demonstrations and meetings were held all over the country. There were strikes and demonstrations at various places. The slogans of Hindu-Muslim unity filled the air. On the 13th of April 1919, a public meeting was held in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar. It was attended by about 10,000 men, women and children. On the orders of General Dyer, the British soldiers blocked the only exit from the park and fired for 10 minutes into the unarmed crowd. Thousands were killed or injured. The incident shocked the entire country and also some British. The Non-Cooperation Movement. At the Calcutta Session, 1920, the Congress resolved in favor of the non-violent, non-cooperation movement and defined Swaraj as its ultimate aim. Gandhiji asked the people of India not to cooperate with the British. Indians working for the British government resigned, lawyers boycotted the courts and Indian children were withdrawn from British government schools. Throughout the country, men, women and children sat on the streets and blocked them. They refused to rise even when beaten by the police. The people participating in the non-cooperation movement in Chauri Chura in Uttar Pradesh became violent. They set fire to a police station, killing 22 policemen. Gandhiji considered this as a failure of the movement and called it off. Enrich yourself. Udham Singh was a revolutionary freedom fighter. He shot dead Michael O'Dea, believing him to be the main person behind the Jallianwala Bagh massacre on the 13th of March 1940, in London. The Civil Disobedience Movement. Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement in March 1930. He called on Indians to refuse to pay taxes, especially the salt tax. The salt tax, passed by the British, forbade Indians from making salt. Gandhiji organized a peaceful march from the Sabarmati ashram in Ahmedabad to Dandi on the seashore. At Dandi, Gandhiji and his followers made salt by evaporating seawater. Gandhiji was arrested, but the movement spread throughout India. The Simon Commission and the demand for Purna Swaraj. On the 26th of November 1927, a commission was announced by British government under the chairmanship of Sir John Simon. The commission consisted of 7 members but no Indian. The commission was in charge of the duty of investigating Indian constitutional and give recommendation for future actions. Indians decided to boycott the commission. Simon Go Back was aired. Get to know more. Many young faces were influenced by Gandhiji and joined the freedom movement. The Indian National Congress now decided to demand Purna Swaraj or complete independence for India. Quit India Movement. Quit India Movement, 1942 was an important event of the Indian freedom struggle. In 1935, the British government passed the Government of India Act. Elections were held throughout the country. The Congress won in most provinces and formed governments. But power still remained in the hands of the British. World War II broke out in 1939. The British declared war on India's behalf, without talking to the Indian leaders. Congress ministers resigned and declared that India would not join the war until the British granted complete independence. They held talks with the British but failed. And Congress launched Quit India Movement in August 1942. There were violent protests all over the country. Indian National Army. Subhash Chandra Bose was convinced that the British would never leave India peacefully. He set up the Indian National Army to fight the British from outside India. With 40,000 Indian soldiers, he formed the Azad Hind Fauj in Singapore, also called Indian National Army. Army pushed back the British. India got freedom. The Quit India Movement and Indian National Army had shaken the Britishers. They agreed to move out of India and started discussions with the Congress and the Muslim League. The Muslim League, under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, demanded a separate nation for the Muslims. Gandhiji was against the division of India. The Indian Independence Act, 1947 passed. India was partitioned on August 15, 1947 into India and Pakistan. The act made India and Pakistan 2 independent nations. Searching Dictionary. Committee. A group of people chosen to do a particular job. Boycott. Showing protest. Word to know. Under Rowlatt Act, the Britishers could arrest anyone without a trial. On the orders of General Dyer, the British soldiers fired for 10 minutes into the unarmed crowd in Jallianwala Bagh. Gandhiji launched the non-cooperation movement, but he stopped it after it turned violent. Protests against the Simon Commission in 1928 again brought the people together. In 1930, Gandhiji launched the civil disobedience movement with the Dandi March. Afterwards, the Quit India Movement was launched in 1942. The Indian National Army of Subhash Chandra Bose fought the British on the northeast borders of India, but finally defeated. India got its independence on the 15th of August 1947, but was divided into 2 nations, India and Pakistan.